also show you the document that had added another twist to the entire Saif tagging saga. In fact, this is part of the ongoing investigation which is being done. In fact, look at the papers there on your screens. We are putting out on your screens so that you can take a clearer look. Well, this is the first medical record of the Lilavati hospital on your screens. There are three aspects in this document which is raising eyebrow. First, the timing of the hospitalization, which mentions it as 4:11 a.m. You'll see that on your screens. There you have it on your screens, 4:11 a.m., the timing of the hospitalization. However, remember, the attack had happened around 2 a.m. Remember, doctors in the past have held press conferences to say that he was brought into the hospital around 2 to 2:30 a.m. So why does the first medical record mention it as 4:11 a.m. at the time of hospitalization? The second point, which is very interesting as well, the person who brought Saif Ali Khan to the hospital is a man called Afsar Zaidi. He is, of course, a long-time friend of the family. He's also his business partner. And this is very interesting because there were those who had said that it was Taimur who had accompanied Saif to the hospital and not a friend. The third point, and this is the interesting one as well, the wounds that have been mentioned in the report, whereas there are doctors who have clearly stated that Saif had suffered 6 stab wounds. The most severe one of these stab wounds was the one near his spine, from where they even had extracted a 2.5-inch knife piece after it snapped out. So where's the mention of the 6th stab wound? Well, we spoke to the man who hospitalized Saif, Afsar Zaidi. He is, of course, to our surprise, in fact, he has claimed that he didn't take Saif to the hospital. Listen in.
Am I speaking to Mr. Afsar Zaidi?
Who is this, please?
I'm Rakesh Trivedi from Times Now Bharat.
Sir, you should actually message. I got really worried. You've been calling me incessantly.
No, sir. This is just the first call that I called. I had some queries, sir, regarding the hospital visit. I just want to confirm, is that you who had taken Saif in the auto?
No, sir. It wasn't me.
But you were there in the hospital as per the medical report?
Sir, I'm not in a position to say anything. I respect you calling me, but you respect me saying I don't want to speak.
Okay, but sir, is it possible that I can send you an email or message with few questions which we can revert, sir?
No, sir. The family and their team will connect.
But sir, सवाल ये है कि आप वहाँ कैसे पहुँचे, ये सब लोग जानना चाहते हैं, sir.
Thank you very much for your concern and everyone asking. I don't have a response, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So who is Afsar Zaidi? Did he accompany Saif to the hospital or was it Taimur? Who called him? When did he reach? Was he in the auto with Taimur? And if he did take Saif to the hospital, why is he denying it now? Well, let's tell you all about what we know about this man. Let's tell you about Afsar Zaidi. Well, he is the business partner of Saif Ali Khan as well as Hrithik Roshan, and he is the man who has signed on the entry form of Saif Ali Khan in the hospital. He's also the co-founder of the House of Pataudi, one of the fashion houses, which is, of course, led by Saif Ali Khan. And he's also the founder of Exceed Entertainment. He, interestingly, represents Saif Ali Khan as well as Hrithik Roshan. His agency does. Also, he's one of the key figures in the celebrity management industries. He's connected to multiple business ventures as well of Saif Ali Khan, which is why the two of them are known to be close business partners as well as family friends. So let me go across to our panelists. Today joining us on the show, we have Swapnil Kothari, a senior lawyer. Also, Dr. Sanjeev Bagai is joining us, the chairperson of Nephron. I'm going to come to you first, Swapnil Kothari. You've seen what exactly is coming out when it comes to the differing statements, when it comes to the hospital admission forms. Do things add up? Is it possible that procedurally there may have been so many lapses in a case such as this?
Hi, Meghna. Good afternoon. Let me tell you something, that the whole theory that has been peddled out of a burglary attempt is absolute hogwash. This was a clear attempt to murder, and the person who you saw through the 6th floor CCTV camera, they stay only 1.5 kilometers away from Satguru Sharan. Unfortunately, on all the staircases, except 6th floor where their residents have themselves installed the CCTV, there is no CCTV camera. So obviously there are adjacent walls through which that person jumped and went up to burglarize whose house we do not know. The same person goes with a cloth over his face. He comes down with a cloth outside his face to be visible to the naked eye so that we can examine him. That sounds a little tad too fishy. And if he's the attacker and if he stabbed Saif Ali Khan 6 times, when the elevator was full of blood when Saif walked down to sit in the auto, and also there was blood stains in the house, full of blood. Why is it that there is not even a drop of blood on that man's entire body? So it's clearly indicated that that man is not the attacker. Now, what is more important is that the probe done by the Mumbai police seems to have several lapses. The most important one being that this was a clear attempt to murder. Why is the attempt to murder section 109 not put in the FIR?
But why would you say, what makes you so suspicious? Sorry to interrupt you, Swapnil Kothari. What makes you so suspicious that it wasn't just an armed robbery, that it was an attempt to murder?
Because there are 5 to 6 stab wounds. Obviously, the Saif was fatally injured, and he recovered within 5-6 days. Because obviously, I was there on another channel, and Dr. Randeep Guleria was there, and he mentioned that, and I'm sure Dr. Bagai will throw more light on that as well. That it depends on where the stab wound was there. If it did not impair any limb, then despite legal advice, sometimes even doctors tell us कि भाई आपका बुखार अब खत्म हुआ है तो एक दिन आराम कर लो, but we still go to work next day. So obviously he must have advised complete bed rest, but वो बोल रहा है ठीक है यार मैं कर लेता हूँ एक दो hand wave and all those kind of things. But I don't want to step into that medical territory. I will go strictly by the legal procedure, and obviously the people who accompanied Saif in the auto was the Saif himself, then Taimur, and there was a 40 to 50-year-old man who was there, maybe his caretaker. I'm not so sure whether it was Afsar Zaidi or not. But that's not relevant. What is relevant is the fact that why did Saif Ali Khan have to take Taimur along with him? And why did Bebo follow him later or possibly early next day? Was she taking care of the 3-year-old or the 4-year-old also that they have? And why so? So was it some sort of an internal scuffle? I'm not imputing anything between the husband and wife, but anything of that nature. So what I'm trying to say is that this was a clear attempt to murder.
Okay.
All I'm trying to say is that the person who climbed up the stair, who came down the stairs are one, but the person whom they have caught is not the same person.
In fact, that's very interesting. Let me take that point across to Atul. Do stay on with us. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, of course, I want your inputs as well when it comes to the medical forms, the procedures. But let me go across to our reporter. We have Atul who's joining us. Atul, sabhi yahi bol rahe hai. In fact, jo attacker ka father hai in Bangladesh, he himself has given a statement ki ye mera beta nahi hai, the one he can see in the CCTV. Now there are several questions which are being raised on the Mumbai police कि उनने जे अरेस्ट किया है ये किनको अरेस्ट किया है and if he is the same person जिनकी शक्ल हमने CCTV में देखी थी कि नहीं.
देखिए ये जो सारी कंफ्यूजन है कहीं ना कहीं इस मामले में जो एक बहुत बड़ा एविडेंस पुलिस को इस्टेब्लिश करने के लिए मिल गया है शरीफुल इस्लाम के खिलाफ कि घर में जो फिंगरप्रिंट्स मिले थे जो एस्केप का पैसेज था जहां से वो आरोपी चढ़ा था और भागा था स्टेयरकेस के हैंडल से लेकर घर के टॉयलेट से लेकर जहां कहीं भी उसके फिंगरप्रिंट्स मिले थे जो वेपन था उस पर जो फिंगरप्रिंट्स मिले हैं वो उससे मैच कर चुके हैं और इस चीज की जो है डिक्लेरेशन खुद मुंबई पुलिस ने कर दिया है जिसके लिए एक काफी बड़ा एविडेंस मुंबई पुलिस की तरफ से माना जा रहा है इस बात को इस्टेब्लिश करने के लिए कि उन्होंने जिस आरोपी को पकड़ा ये वही शख्स था कि जो 16 जनवरी की रात को सैफ अली खान के घर में घुसा था और उसने ही सैफ अली खान के ऊपर अटैक किया. अब इस मामले को लेकर जो अलग अलग थ्योरीज आ रही हैं या जो बयानों में खासतौर पे करीना कपूर और सैफ अली खान के बयान में काफी ज्यादा अंतर दिखाई दे रहा है.
There is a big difference. Stay with us. In fact, Swapnil Botali wanted to come in. Swapnil?
Yeah, Meghna, you know what? Now, this is a theory peddled by the police that the fingerprints are matching, etc. Has the charge sheet been filed? Has that evidence been cross-examined? So unless and until that evidence is cross-examined, that's just one theory, one aspect of the case.
Right now, it's a theory.
So, it's a theory. It's a case.
Absolutely.
So you're saying that this is matching, but I mean, the dad is saying that this is not my son. And you know, the lighting theory, ki light mein, now tell me if Meghna Dekha stands, beside the camera, kya wo shakal mein nahi पहचान पाऊंगा that this is Meghna or not, whether the light is enough in Times Now studio or not enough in Times Now studio at a particular day or time. I mean, what nonsense, people are peddling out theories. And
absolutely, with familiar faces, you would have probably, despite the lighting, despite the fact that it's in CCD, one would have imagined. But then let me go across to Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, because this is where it gets interesting as well. We got the hospital forms where we have the name of one of his friends as the person who has taken him, and that entry form which was signed by Afsar is at 4:11 a.m. Two discrepancies like this happened. And the second thing I want to ask you about the number of stab wounds. The doctor said that there were 6, but the discharge summary says 5.
Good afternoon. I think the entire story from start to finish is not matching. Right from the time the identification of the face or the similarity of the face, if a person has 1 stab wound, 5 or 6, the attacker would have some amount of blood stains either on his arms or his hands or his shirt. Remember, neck vessels bleed heavily, so he would have some spots of blood if he was the person. The other point is that he's apparently a right-handed dominant person, because he was opening the drawer, what we saw in the videos, from the right hand. Okay. A right-hand dominated person will normally by nature, because of the accessibility of the person who he's attacking, would be on the left side of the body.
Right.
It is almost impossible for a right-handed person to stab a person on the left side of the neck. Although it is possible.
It is possible. But it's unlikely.
Yeah, it's unlikely. Now, a 2-hour delay of filling out the form, that is pardonable, right, because the first intent of a doctor is always to attend to the patient. Okay. The paperwork can follow. I have no dispute and no problem with that.
So but fair enough on that.
Yeah,
fair enough. It's possible that there was a delay because the aim of the hospital, of a doctor, is not to get the paperwork done, but to ensure that the patient is being treated. It's interesting having spoken to both of you. Thank you so much, Swapnin Kothari as well as Dr. Bagai. I wish we had more time to discuss more of this. But interesting insights that you've told us about the procedures, about the lapses, about what's suspicious. Thank you so much. This, of course, continues to be one of our top focus stories.